Today, teams from Alliance, Lakeside, and Midview kick off the 55th season of the Nordson Academic Challenge. Here we go. Hi, everybody. I'm your host, Rob Powers. Good morning, and thank you so much for being with us. 55 years. You heard me right. The Nordson Academic Challenge has been a part of News 5 and all of Northeast Ohio, really, for more than 5 decades. Think about that. When we first hit the airways, a loaf of bread cost 23 cents. Things have changed a lot in those 55 years, something that hasn't, though. The fun and excitement these teams are going to feel while competing here on the Nordson Academic Challenge. So let's get ready to kick off season number 55. We say hello to our teams once again, Alliance, Lakeside, and Midview. The challenge of the show is the same as it's always been. 3 teams compete for points by answering questions in math, science, history, a few other scholarly topics as well. All of our teams will be playing for a share of $20,000 in grant money from Nordson for their school. At the end of the season, the 3 teams with the highest scores are going to be right back here to battle for our top prize of $6,000 and the right to call itself the champion of our historic 55th season. So, let's get things started. Here comes the lightning round. All 3 teams compete in this round. We award 20 points for a correct answer. We subtract 20 points for an incorrect or no answer. The match is going to start off, each team with 100 points. Everybody ready? Let's get it going. Coming in first, this is the first game of the season. Let's look at people and things who were first. Identify the following. This is the first word of the preamble to the Constitution. Midview.
We.
We is correct. She was the first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic. Lakeside.
Amelia Earhart.
That is correct. In 1967, Dr. Christian Barnard first transplanted this cardiac organ of the body. Midview.
The heart.
That is correct. This Russian cosmonaut was the first man in space. Alliance.
Yuri Gagarin.
That is correct. The first U.S. national park was this home of Old Faithful. Midview.
Yellowstone.
That is correct. The Supreme Court first overturned a law in the case of this man versus Madison. Lakeside.
Marbury.
That is correct. William Röntgen won the first Nobel Physics Prize for discovering these rays. Answer, Lakeside.
Gamma.
X-rays, X-rays. He was the first U.S. Attorney General. Answer, Edmund Randolph. Roald Amundsen was the first person to reach this Antarctic spot. Lakeside.
Antarctica.
The South Pole is the answer. That's okay. We're going to move on for our final question here. We have a very special alumnus of Academic Challenge.
Good morning to everyone across Northeast Ohio. This is George Stephanopoulos from ABC's Good Morning America with today's video question. Convicted of voting illegally in the 1872 election, fined $100. What suffragette leader whose likeness appears on a U.S. coin said she wouldn't pay? Never did.
Lakeside.
Susan B. Anthony.
That is correct, and that's the end of our opening round. Way to go. Good round, everybody. We'll be back with more of the 55th season of the Nordson Academic Challenge right after this.
Nordson is honored to sponsor a program that celebrates academic excellence. We're a global industrial technology company with a long and proud history of giving back to the communities where we live and work. We donate 5% of our U.S. pre-tax profits to charity every year. Over the past 30 years, the Nordson Corporation Foundation has donated more than $100 million, and our employees have volunteered more than 100,000 hours. And now, we're pleased to support the legacy of Academic Challenge. Thank you all for watching, and the best of luck to all the participants.
Welcome back to the 55th season of the Nordson Academic Challenge. If you'd like more information about any of the schools that appear this season, you can scan the QR code you see on the upper right-hand corner of your screen with your phone. That code takes you to news5cleveland.com's Academic Challenge page. We have the links for all of the season's school websites right there. We move on now, another round. It's our Hot Picks round. One at a time, I ask each team 8 questions. A correct response here is worth 20 points. No penalty for a wrong answer. Any team answering all 8 questions correctly will receive 25 bonus points. But before the questions, we're going to meet the team members. We start with Alliance. Hi, Lily. You're the captain. Congratulations. What do we need to know about Lily?
I'm Lily. I'm a senior. I'm the president of our marching band, and I'm a member of the golf and swim teams.
Awesome. We welcome you here this morning. Hi, Courtney.
Hi, I'm Courtney. I play mellophone in Lily's marching band, and I play bass in orchestra.
That's awesome. Lily, it's your marching band all of a sudden. There you go. Hi, Seth.
Hi, I'm Seth. I'm a senior. I'm an Eagle Scout, and I run track and cross country.
So cool. All right, that's some busy people here. For your questions alliance, we go to Alex, the captain from Lakeside. Alex, we have envelopes 1, 2, 3, or 4.
4.
Number 4. All righty. A reminder, this is all for alliance. All set? Here we go. The people of Vermont designated as their official state tree what useful tree that provides them with syrup?
Maple.
That is correct. The National Aquarium of New Zealand was shocked when what kind of 8-armed cephalopod managed to slip out of his enclosure, slide into a floor drain, and escape into the ocean?
Octopus.
That is correct. His name was Inky, by the way. In addition to exploring and naming Florida, Ponce de Leon was named first governor of what Caribbean island where San Juan is the capital?
No answer.
Puerto Rico is the answer. Okay, we move on. Here's your science question in the monitor. Which of these elements will, when burned, produce an exceptionally brilliant white flame and white ash?
Magnesium.
That is correct. Pirate Jean Lafitte temporarily halted his criminal activity to help Andrew Jackson win what last battle of the War of 1812?
No answer.
New Orleans is the answer. New Orleans. A novel called The Black Tulip was published in 1850 by what French author whose career blossomed with his novel The Three Musketeers?
No answer.
Alexander Dumas is the answer. We go back to the monitor. Here's your math question. How many degrees are there in angle X if its supplement is 120 degrees?
60 degrees.
60 degrees is correct. There was no way to prevent the Spanish-American War after what American ship blew up in Havana Harbor in 1898?
The Arizona.
It is the Maine. It is the Maine. Okay, Alliance, good round. There we go. We are off and running. Our second team this morning comes to us from Lakeside. Alex, you are the captain. Number 1, congratulations on being named captain. Tell us about Alex.
I'm the junior drum major of our marching band, and I play soccer, swim, and run track.
And you go to school, too. You squeeze that in somewhere. Welcome, Alex. Garrett, good morning.
Hi, I'm Garrett. I'm a junior. I like botany and art history, and I'm on student council.
Awesome. Welcome to Academic Challenge. Hi, Owen.
I'm Owen. I go to Lakeside, and I'm the president of the marching band, and I do cross-country, swimming, and tennis.
Again, so darn busy. Okay, for your questions, Lakeside, we go to Charlie. He's the captain of Midview. Charlie, we're down to envelopes 1, 2, or 3.
I'm going to go with 2.
2. It's a big choice. Here we go, Lakeside. These questions are just for you. Set? Here we go. While there are 4 oceans, the international dateline passes through only 2, the Pacific and what's smallest, coldest ocean? Answer?
The Atlantic.
The Arctic Ocean, the Arctic. It's one of the greatest American novels ever written, said one critic about what Mark Twain novel whose title character is a friend of Tom Sawyer's?
The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn.
That is correct. A novel about the Battle of Agincourt would be set during what 14th/15th century war, whose name indicates it lasted for 10 decades?
The 100 Years' War.
That is correct. Let's go to the monitor. Here is your science question. Which of these terms identifies the plant tissue that conducts minerals and water upwards from the roots?
Endoderm.
Xylem is the answer. Xylem. Since most of the German mercenaries hired to fight in the American Revolution came from a particular principality, the colonists gave them what name?
Hessians.
That is correct. The title Shadow and Act was given to a work by what African-American author who cast a long shadow with his novel Invisible Man?
No answer.
Ralph Ellison is the answer. Okay, we go back to the monitor. Here's your math question. This expression is equal to what positive integer?
16.
16 is correct. Archaeologists speculated that a gold bar found in Mexico City in the 1980s might be treasure seized by Cortez from what Aztec emperor?
Montezuma.
That is correct. Nice round, Lakeside. righty. And that takes us all the way to the end. Here's Midview. Here's Charlie. You're the captain. Good morning, Charlie.
Hi, my name is Charlie. I'm a senior at Midview High School, and I'm in theater and NHS. And after high school, I plan to attend a University of California. And I'd like to thank our alternates, fans, and family for supporting us today.
Awesome. Awesome. Good job, Charlie. Ishan, how are you?
I'm good. I'm Ishan. I'm a senior at Midview. I'm in student body government and track and field as a thrower. And after high school, I want to major in biomedical engineering. And I'd like to thank the Nordson Corporation for sponsoring this program.
Wow, very nice. Thank you so much. Hi, Ruben.
Hello, my name is Ruben. I am a junior at Midview High School, and I am part of band, cross country, and track. And after high school, I plan to study music performance or history. And I would like to thank News Channel 5 and their sponsors for producing this program.
That is awesome. You are some of the 9 busiest kids in Northeast Ohio right now. My golly. Welcome, everybody. For your questions, Midview. Lily, we're down to envelopes 1 or 3?
3, please.
3. All righty. You all set?
Yes.
Here we go. These are just for you. Duty, honor, country is a motto long associated with what U.S. military academy located along the Hudson River?
West Point.
That is correct. Those who try to predict the future by reading tea leaves say it's a good omen if the leaves form the shape of what tool linked to the Norse god Thor?
Hammer.
That is correct. In addition to establishing the first free school in New Jersey, Clara Barton founded the American branch of what international relief organization?
Red Cross.
That is correct. For your science question, we go to the monitor. When you sift sand through your hands, that sand is made up mainly of tiny, colorless crystals. Of which of these?
Quartz.
That is correct. Nigerian diplomats have argued that as Africa's most populous country, Nigeria should have a permanent seat on what 15-member United Nations Council?
Security Council.
That is correct. William Blake uses the term fearful symmetry in a poem addressed to what feared jungle cat native to Asia?
The tiger.
That is correct. Back to the monitor. Here's your math question. Evaluate this expression, giving your answer as a single-digit integer.
5.
5 is correct, and that was big. This is for the bonus points. Here we go. The right people in the right jobs was an 1875 political pledge by what man who managed to secure a top-level job as Germany's Iron Chancellor?
No answer.
The answer is Otto von Bismarck, but that's a heck of a round. All 3 teams, we are off and running. We'll be back with more academic excitement right after this. Today's judge is an adjunct instructor in business at the Cuyahoga Community College. Valerie Smart, thanks for being with us. Thanks for coming out on a Saturday morning and helping us out. Thank you so much. And we welcome you back to the 55th season of the Nordson Academic Challenge. Before we start our next round, we're going to take a look at the scores as they sit right now. In third place with 200 points, Alliance. In second place with 220 points, Lakeside. Leading the way right now with 300 points, it's Grafton Midview. But hold on. It's time to go head-to-head one more time with our picture-perfect round. Each correct answer here is worth 20 points, but for a wrong answer or no answer, we take away 20 points. This is for all 3 teams yet again. So hands on the buzzer, eyes on the big monitor down here. All set? Here we go. Sundial shells like these are said to have inspired a design for a spiral staircase by what 15th century artist better known for the Mona Lisa? Lakeside.
Da Vinci?
That is correct. This is Pontiac, a chief of what Native American tribe whose name has been given to the capital of Canada? Midview.
Ottawa.
That is correct. These relics are in Persepolis, a part of what ancient Iranian empire ruled by Cyrus the Great? Midview.
Persia.
That is correct. What is the positive value of X in this expression? Answer is 2. 2. This 14th century African sculpture is made of what metal? An alloy of copper and tin. Lakeside.
Bronze.
That is correct. Years before Charles Peale did this self-portrait, he had fought in what New Jersey battle won by George Washington December 26, 1776? Answer? Alliance.
Trenton?
That is correct. Mountains make up 70% of what divided Asian peninsula, where a major war was fought in the early 1950s. Midview.
Korea.
Korea is correct. This cover of Cleveland Magazine features Progressive Field, bringing to mind Northeast Ohio's baseball history. Cleveland won its first World Series in which year? The same year, Ohio Senator Warren G. Harding defeated Ohio Governor James M. Cox in the presidential election. Midview.
1923.
1920 is the answer. I'm sorry, but good round. That's the end of that round. We are flying through. Don't go anywhere. We're going to mix it up when we come back.
Fight.
All right, welcome back. Let's say hello to today's school advisors. From Alliance, Brianna Delpy's here. From Lakeside, Edwin Gallatin is here. And from Drafting Midview, it's Michael Polipniak. They're veterans of Academic Challenge. Welcome back. Thanks for everything you're doing for our kids and our communities. This is great. All right, we're going to mix it up now. One at a time, I ask each team 6 questions. Correct response here is worth 20 points. No penalty for a wrong answer. Any team answering all 6 questions correctly in this round will receive 25 bonus points. Alliance, you're up first. All set? These questions just for you. You will have no ill effects if you can find in this phrase the name of what breathing structure found in fish.
Gill?
That is correct. Which of these words is the best definition of intransigent?
Uncompromising?
That is correct. Don't worry about wolves. Rearrange the letters in this word to identify what group of letters that consists of A, E, I, O, and U.
Vowels?
That is correct. You can identify this unusual ingredient used by the witches in Macbeth by adding the name of what mammal that can fly.
Bat?
Bat is correct. Which of these elements belongs to the halogen family?
Bromine?
Bromine is correct. That was big. This is for the bonus points. The man who said this should know, since he was what leader who led India to independence in 1947 and was called Mahatma?
Gandhi?
Gandhi is correct for the bonus points. There you go. There you go. All right. Lakeside, it is that easy. Set. Here we go. These are just for you. Hidden in this choice of fruit is the name of what important artery of the human body? Answer? Is aorta. Aorta. There it is. If someone insulted you, you would have received which of these?
An affront?
That is correct. You can name one of the 7 wonders of the world if you rearrange these letters to get what hanging?
Gardens.
Gardens is correct. You can find her in the name of what English forest where Robin Hood and his men supposedly hid?
Sherwood.
That is correct. Of these 3 basic sugars, which one is found in milk?
Lactose.
That is correct. Found in a 1930s cookbook. This is a description of what vegetable, a shortage of which once caused a famine in Ireland.
Potato.
Potato is right. Nice round, Lakeside. There you go. Okie dokie. And here we go to Grafton Midview. All set?
Yes.
Here we go, just for you. Not just Ted and Sally, but you too can earn 20 points by finding in this phrase a word identifying what fin found on the back of a fish.
Dorsal.
That is correct. If a town suffered an inundation, you would expect to see pictures of which of these on the evening news?
A fire.
A flood. A flood is the answer. You won't need a map if you rearrange the letters here to get what figure of speech comparable to a simile in which a comparison is made between 2 things.
A metaphor.
That is correct. Roo is an animal from Winnie the Pooh, but add some more letters and you'll name what miser from Dickens' A Christmas Carol.
Scrooge.
Scrooge is correct. Of these 3 elements, which one takes its name from the Greek word for stranger and is classified as a noble gas?
Xenon.
Xenon is correct. English sea captains used this slogan to justify the impressment of U.S. sailors, a practice that was one cause of what early 19th century war?
The War of 1812.
The War of 1812 is correct, and that's the end of that round. Now hold on. We're going to be back with our final and deciding grab bag round. It's all coming up after this. Okay, it's a tight game to determine the winner. This is the grab bag round. It's a free-for-all. Every correct answer worth 30 points. A team loses 30 points for a wrong answer or no answer. All right, you all ready? Hands on the buzzers. Here we go. When Scottish troops go on parade, they're often preceded by a musician playing what instrument long associated with Lakeside?
Bagpipes.
Bagpipes is correct. The science community lost a familiar name in 2006 with the death of what American astrophysicist whose name is given to the radiation belts circling Earth? Answer? That's the end of the round, everybody. We go right to the scores as we have them right now. That was quick. In third place today, with 365 points, the team from Alliance. With 390 points. In second place, it's the team from Lakeside. And winning our opening day version of Academic Challenge with 440 points, it's the team from Grafton Midview. And that's how we get things started. Check out next week's teams. We've got Hoover, Lake Center Christian, and Northwestern. Thanks for being a part of this one. We'll see you next Saturday for the next Nordson Academic Challenge.